Welcome to the channel, where we teach advanced level preparedness and encourage resilience through self-sustainability. If you would like to support our non-monetized channel, please consider using our Amazon affiliate or PayPal donation links in the description below.
Good morning. So let this be a reminder to shore up your communications plans. I'll repeat that. Let this be a reminder to shore up your communication plans. So what's going on? Well, I've got some news that just came out on AP this morning, and it's something I think it's important enough to bring to your attention. So Secret Service dismantles telecom threat around UN capable of crippling cell service in New York City. So that's a big deal. And from reading the article, this was a rather extensive operation here. It said the cache made up of more than 300 SIM servers packed with over 100,000 SIM cards and clustered within 35 miles of the United Nations. That is crazy. That would have just absolutely... Think about like a DDoS attack on a computer. That's where you make a bunch of different connections at the same time to a computer, a server, what have you, and it can't handle it. It can't handle that much network, that much traffic. So it initially will shut down the server. Same thing will happen to a cell phone network if you hit it with a bunch of phone calls or data or what have you at the same time. So if you've seen disasters to where the cell towers were functioning, you know, they were working, however, they couldn't hold all the traffic that was being demanded of them, and so the systems would shut down or fail to operate. This is an issue. It says that that is believed to be nation-state actors is what the article is saying. And folks, I'm telling you, this is why I heavily emphasize an intellectual approach at preparedness. This is why I emphasize this, because the average Joe Blow that doesn't understand how things work or how to modify something to get it to work, they're going to have problems. If something like this were to happen and all communications were shut down, there's a lot of people that wouldn't know where to even begin. And, you know, there's not a lot you can do if the cell towers fail or anything like that, aside from making sure that you and yours have a plan outside of that system. That's where radios come in. So this is interesting, and I recently just had a couple of friends, because I've been on these guys for, gosh, 2-3 years at least on getting a radio, just getting a cheap Baofeng radio, a Baofeng, however you want to pronounce it. And this is just really odd, because two of those people that I've been begging to get a radio, like last week, let me know I got my radio ordered. So that's kind of crazy. It's just kind of crazy coincidence, you know what I mean? But I'm glad they got theirs ordered. If you don't have a communication system set up outside of what we generally use, I highly recommend you get on that. But I also want to emphasize that it's not just important to have a radio. You need to know how to operate it. You need to have it programmed. And you need to know who you're going to talk to. Because just having a radio doesn't open you up to a group chat. You know, it doesn't open you up to a party line. There are going to be people waiting to pick up their radio because of your call. Okay, you need to know what frequency whoever it is going to be on. You need to have whatever you want set up, some type of a schedule. If you want to use something like a one-time pad or something like that, to me, a lot of that stuff's ridiculous. You just make sure that you keep, you know, your communications very brief, and make sure that you don't cover anything important, you know. So you want to do all this stuff ahead of time. You want to make sure that you have keywords and stuff like that ahead of time. Man, I was unaware of this. I got a notification on my phone. Of course, that sent it over to my watch, and I was like, "Holy cow!" This is crazy. This is crazy. I'll put the link in the description of the video. Just make sure that you have a plan and your plan's put in place and that your plan's practiced. It's a good idea to practice it. If you really don't want to go after getting a ham license, whether it be technicians or what have you, then at least spend the $35 and get your GMRS license. So at the very least, because then you can sit there and communicate all you want right now for $35 plus another $25 radio. You know what I mean? And you can get that practice in. You can get used to operating the radio, and most importantly, you can learn the radio's limitations. Just like with solar generators, radios are the same. A lot of people will go out and buy them, and they'll buy a solar generator. They'll buy one that's like, I don't know, 600 watt or something like that, and they think they're going to run half their house. You and I know it don't work like that. Same thing is true with radios. People will go to Walmart, they'll grab a blister pack off of the shelf, and just say, oh, the radio's good for 18 miles, and they think they're good. And you and I both know better than that. So make sure you know the limitations of your radios, practice your radios, and have a good solid plan put in place. So anyway, I hope everyone has a great day. I'm going to be starting here in a moment on that DC brushed motor tutorial. It's over on the table behind me, and just waiting for me to get over there and do it. So I hope you have a great day. Shalom.